Hello and good morning. It's already 10 a.m. East African time. Good morning, wherever you are. Let me see a good morning on the chat. If you're here already, let's just see a good morning and also start by liking this video. Start by liking this. We are moving in a very, very big move here. The market is good. Things are good. We are moving. We are still moving. We are moving. We are moving. Yep. Good morning, Aruna. Good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, you are the first one actually to leave a comment before even opening this. I saw that. Yes. How are you doing? So I promised yesterday we'll come back, but things did not go as we planned. But on that note, I actually did not take any trade yesterday because you see how they go. There's a region that we were waiting for the market to reverse across this area here, but the market actually just decided to move all the way up, of which we were expecting. That's why I said that we're not going to sell at that point, because that was not important at all. That was not important. But you see where this market is ending. This market, actually, the most important part that you're going to be having here of the breakout. Let me just give you a quick one, then we'll be discussing this later. You see here, I wait for this market to break this. Already this market is actually moving down. So if you're on buys, you have to be very careful on this area here. You see this region here? That is what we're going to be having the buys in case this market comes to this area. We don't need a lot of trade. We just need one. But we want to be very accurate when it comes to that. And when this market comes to this area here, 32.30, but remember the last one where we were talking about 32.20s and all that. But this time round, we are talking about this region that you see here, and we are going to be giving it a bonus. So in between here, when the market touches 30 and in between 18, so that is a difference of like $10 difference. So we are going to be scaling in and divide our position inside these areas here. Otherwise, I'm waiting for this market to touch this area here and break this, because it's going to be very important. When this market actually break this, it's actually going to be very important, because after breaking this, now we'll be very sure that this market is ending down. And not even only that, because still we are on a 1 hour time frame. Remember, we are still on 1 hour time frame. I'm waiting for this market actually to break and move at least to 50, because we have already touched 51. I'm waiting for this candle that you see here to move below and actually go to 49. Yeah, 49. Once we touch 49, just know we are going to break this, but when we come to this point here, which is 45, we are going to be getting a reaction there. That means the market is going to touch this and slightly move above. Just small, just like that, a small move, and then we'll proceed to move down. But at the end of the day, we are going to break this and move all the way to that point. Now our focus here is actually to buy from this point here and not sell from this. All these trends that we normally, the reason I've been avoiding, the reason I've always been telling you that let's avoid the selling point, is because the market can actually do unthinkable here. But when it comes to buying, this is actually the good one. The market can actually go down here, but remember, when we buy from this, then we are going to move all the way to 34. Okay, remember this is 30, so that means that we are going to move $100 plus. That means we'll be existing at 34, 30, 34, 20 something, and that is actually going to be so many pips that we're going to be gaining from this market. But the most important and pretty critical point is here is to break this area that you see here. So once we break this, because I know then the market comes to this area, is going to test this region, is actually going to react when we come to around this zone here. But that is not important. The most important and most the one that is going to give us a cold signal is actually this area here. You see, that is, and between 30 and 20, 18 there, that is going to be a one that is going actually to be amazing. So when this market comes to that area, and we're going to be focusing on a big move that is going to be happening to this market, that is actually going to be incredible when this market touches that. And you see, this market is still moving up. We don't really have a clear sign that this market, considering that these candles out there moving, if you check this clearly, you can see these candles are actually moving down, and there's none no of one of the candles actually that has shown the sign of moving up. Just look at this. Now it's up to this candle and to see how it's actually going to be moving up there, but we might be having a deal breaker here because this is supposed to be one deal breaker is actually located here. You see this point here? Let me show you again. You see this point around this area, which is 17. So in case this market decides to move to 70, that will be having a deep breaker. That means this market might not come to this point here, and we have to re-strategize again. But just look at how the gold is actually moving, and what you can say is that this market is actually determined to come to our buying zone. So we are going to break through 49, and once we break through 49, now we have at least some confidence this market is actually might be moving to this way, but we need to break this area here. We need to break these, and let's wait for this candle actually to move below this one, because you can see that is the trend and the market is still moving down, and that is what I'm waiting to see. Once the price actually come to 30s here, between 30 and 20, now we'll be trying to scale down, scale in as we enter through positions there. We divide our stop loss. I'm actually going to be showing you my account and how I'm going to be doing this, and the risk that I'm going to be taking, how many dollars I'm going to risk, and I'm going to put inside how much am I going to risk here, the lot sizes, and the amount of money I'm going to risk, so that when you have your account out there, you know what you're going to do. Right, this is gold, because if you're focusing on a big move, then it means that you don't actually have to just put big losses there. With the small losses, you're going to make crazy amount of money, because you know a signal here is actually based on a big move. We just capture one, okay, whether it is 3 times or 4 times a week, then we are going in that week, because here we're focusing about $100, you know. Yeah, many of them big moves that we actually going to be getting from this market. Now if you're joining this, kindly like this live. It's going to be very important. Make sure that you're live. If you're here, like, it's just the button is on the left side, just click like. It's going to be important here. Also leave me let me just leave a greeting out there. Good morning to you, and where you are watching from. It is very important. It's very important here. You're building a community. Now you can see the gold is now trying to move to this point that you see here. This point that you see here is actually very important. Once we cross this, then we are actually going. You know, the problem with so many people is that you chase the market, and when you start analyzing the market, that is one thing that I've actually realized from most of my students. Actually, that is the first thing I always try to teach them, that you know, it's not all the time you're going to see things, and when the market is not clear, when you are not sure of what is happening, just leave things to come to your side, and that is going to help you a lot. Just look at this, for example, on this market that you see here. Okay. Today actually I'm going to be live for many hours, because market is actually going to move. Today is on Tuesday. I'm going to be live at least for 5 hours. 5 hours minimum. 5 hours minimum. That means that we are existing these at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. all the way to 3 or 2 p.m. At least some hours. We must make some good amount of money today. We must make money today. We must make some good amount of money today. Yesterday, the reason I did not trend, I wanted the market to come to our side. Remember, there is a trend we had held all the way from Friday, and we closed on Monday. So that's why I was not in a hurry to enter any trend, and I was so much relaxed. But today, we must make something. We must make something. Out of this. Yeah, I'm waiting for the gold to cross below 49. As I said here, 49. Once we get 49, I think we'll be good. Once we get 49 below that, it's actually going to that is not important. Actually, it's going to break that, but the most important part is here. You see this 45 is actually going to be most headache. That gold is actually going to fight across that area. Sellers actually are going to fight that battle across that zone here, but once we break that, I know we'll be good. Once the market breaks that, we're in a good position to stay good. We'll be in a good position. All right, this is yes, Dominion Tech, good morning, how are you? I'm doing good. Mal, good morning. Shazan, good morning. Vincent, yeah, importance of nikufika mapema. Yes, very true. Very true. That is from Vincent. Bojo, good morning. How are you doing? Release Monzo, good morning. Mosa K, morning. I'm keen, usually ready to learn instead of future look bright. Of course, future looks bright. Future looks bright. Let me tell you one thing. I want you to tell you one thing. Let me just give you a secret. I want to give you a secret right here. I want to give you a secret. Why? I want to give you a secret. Let me give you a secret here. The reasons why. I want to give you an important lesson. Let me tell you something that you don't know. There's something that you are not going to even to read from the book, but this you're only going to be getting all it from experience. Let me tell you something. So once you start making money from Forex, once you start making money, you see, for example, yesterday, and I earned a trend all the way from Friday. Yesterday I made some good amount of money. Once you start making good amount of money, there is no way that you're going to be in a hurry of anything. You just feel relaxed, and you not actually be in a hurry of the stop. The reason most of the time you normally feel like the stop loss is going to hurt you inside is actually because probably there is high chances that the money you are using, you don't have any other corner. That's like you don't have any other money that you just have. Like money is the problem. Money is the main problem of all your problems. But once you start at least making some good amount of money, you have some savings here, you at least know I have this capital, I have another one, so if I blow my account twice or three times, I'm comfortable with that. But you have good risk management there, and you have good amount of money. And the other thing is having big capital. Once you have like big capital, and you have already strategized your strategy so well, and even if I just lose this, my account is still okay, my account is still big. That is not the problem. But once you are trading with $100, and that is what you have, tunasemanga mbele na nyuma, yeah, yeah. When you actually just do thorough research, okay, when you check on all corners, that is only the money that you have. Then that is actually going not to give you peace, and that is one of the big problem. So if you are not at peace when you are trading, if you are not at peace with the money that you are making, that is going to be another problem. Capital is important. Actually, making money in the Forex is important, and you stay winning. The moment you start winning more, then you stop being worried more about how much you're going to lose, because eventually one day you just recover all that amount of money. And the amount risk management is actually going to help you a lot. Risk management is going to help you a lot, because once you deviate from that, then eventually you're going to be something else. Eventually you will be losing all your account. So never be all in. I have big account and I have small account, but there is no way, even the smallest account have been all in. No way. Some of signals that I normally get from the market, I'm even more sure that the market is going to be going well, but no way that I can actually go more in. This kuna msemo inasemanga, there's I don't know whether it's a proverb or what, that never ever put all your eggs in one basket. Never ever do that. Never put all your eggs in one basket, and that is trading gold with all your capital, because once you are out, then you'll be hurt so much. You'll be hurt so much, and the next trade that you're going to take is actually going to be emotional, and it's going to change you. It's going to kill your heart. It's going to kill your motivation. That is so bad. Now, God, you just look how the God is actually doing. But you already remember, we have two things that we are waiting for here. We have the deal breaker, and we have the region where this market actually has to touch. We have those. We have those two. Now, because I'm waiting for this market to come to this area here, I want to count something so that I can take a small risk, a small risk here. I want to take a small risk here. Just this is 50, this is 58, and this is 72. So between 72 and 58, that is 14. Okay, $14. But when you compare from here all the way to 30, that is how much? How much is that? 58. That is 28. So that is like a ratio of 1 to 2. That is like a ratio of 1 to 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just risk a small one here, and this is just for, let me just say, a scalping one. Then we say even for, is it for scalping or what? Because okay, this is a risk one. This is kind of one that I don't really tell people to. I can just enter this just from on my side, but normally I cannot give you such a signal, because I know what gold can actually do. It can just decide to just reverse. But once we are there, I know it's very possible, because here I'll be making to and fro. You make money to and fro. So this is really not revisable. I want to take at 58. Let me close some of the trend. Yeah, the 58 is here. Oh, what? Oh. So from 58 to the deal breaker is actually located at 72. So my stop loss will be 72. 72. That is risky. Don't joke with that. And the TP is going to be 30. That's risky. That's very risky, my friend. That is very risky. I'm going to be showing you my entries here. But remember, for the stop loss to be 72, it has to close somehow. Let me put my 30, 33, 30. Okay, 33, 30. And once we are there, I'll just show you the risk one that is running. It is going to, you keep actually observing this. At least we don't get bound to just, let's just look how the market is going to be doing that. But remember, our key point is actually to buy here. I'll be indicating the prices there. I'll be indicating the prices there. Ndio hiyo sasa, that one is right there. That is actually the sell from this point here, and I'm expecting it to break all the way here. But at least that is going to be long one, and that is risky. That is risky. That is a risky one. That is risky. Let's see how the market is actually going to be moving here, because once it starts moving, we are going to be having double one, because we are going to be moving down and up. Okay, but this is a small one, because I'm just risking from 14, 50, this was 58 all the way to 72. But when you compare this all the way down to that one, you actually see there is a many pips. At least the risk reward ratio is 1 to 2. So at least now that can be a nice one. And that market just when it just look like that. But that is not main trend that we took there. That is not, I call it like that is the risky one. Yeah, remember, on goals now is to always buy the gold until when until now we hit the new high. Until we hit new high, we are still moving and we are still buying the gold. That is the move that we have. Now, allow me to mark these areas that we have. Allow me to mark these zones. It's very important as we proceed on this. So for those who are not here, we are waiting for this market to come here. This is the most important place to buy. Like, this will be more violent compared to the sell that I'm taking here. This is for me. This is for me. Yeah, this is for me. That's for me. So I actually have to be writing my signals here on my entries, but this is risky as well, as you can see, as you can tell. But my stop loss is around here, because when this market be coming to this, we'll be breaking a lot of things here, and a lot of rules, of which I can actually adjust to 76, because I think that is the most valid one stop loss that we can have. But I'm still waiting to see, because this market already, we must actually come to 30s. Yes, to come to 30s. Let me mark those areas, very important. Let me mark them. So these are where we're going to be having these buys here. It is in between 33, and this is actually going to be, I'm going to indicate this buy here, buy here, buy here. Okay, buy here. That is the zone. Today the market actually had to just obey us, so you must enter today. And now this is the most critical part of the break that we're going to be getting here. So once the market will actually start coming to our side, to determine the stop loss, which is actually very easy, because I know to determine that is very easy, because already the market will have actually moved so well, and now the stop loss is not going to be the problem here. It's actually not going to be a problem when this market comes to that zone. The stop loss will be very, but to break these, we need to break these first. This is going to be, and that is 45, the next $10 we have. So once we break that, I know we are going to be very okay. The market is actually going to be dude, and yeah. So I've took my first sell as just a small one, 58, and now the market is moving. I'm waiting to see whether we can get the prices moving below 45, because once we get below 45, things are going to be more good. Things are more going to be good, and that will be one of the signs that indeed the market will actually be heading to this buy zone that we have here, which is located at 30 and 20. That is where we are going to be having more buys. And once we buy this, then we are going to hold until we see a new high has been created. Just because of this market, here I'm going to hold at least 200 profit here. Then we'll be focusing on the next one, $200 here, profit for the move that I'm waiting to see here. okay, for the move that I'm waiting to see here. This is my first time to take a sell on the gold since I think we have actually some of the almost 3 weeks. That is my first sell that I'm taking from the gold there, and I'm waiting for the market to just come there and just buy. There's something I said that actually knowing where the market is actually going to be heading to a certain zone and bounce from that is the hardest thing that you can do. By just saying the market is going to be doing this instead of just saying the market is going to continue moving on this side, which is risky. But once you wait for the market to come to your side, then it's always nice and very, very easy. Tony is watching me from Qatar. Good morning. I don't know what's the time is there in Qatar. I really don't know that, but you are here. Very nice. Our patron, Daraha, good morning. Yep, it is 10:40 here, East African time. That is Kenyan time. Omondi, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Omondi Arogon, good morning. How are you doing? You good? Yep. Good here. I'm really going to observe all this market. I'm going to give it time to move. Okay? So today I'm going to be here for some hours. Some hours. I'm not in a hurry. So today I'm not in a hurry. I'm going to observe this. Yesterday I made some good amount of money and it disappeared. So today I'm going to stay here and observe, and we make some money. So I want you to see the mistakes that I can make, the decision that I can make, and yeah, it's very easy. You're going to observe from that. Yeah. Some of you mkiona to like $20 you closed out, and then you see $10 you are out, $5 you are out. But when the stop loss starts running, you actually very patient. You are very patient when it comes to stop loss. But when it comes to TP, to the side of blues, on Museum blues, you just close like that. There's someone who sent me the history, and when I checked the history, it's full of $0.1. You see, to $1 profit. But when it comes to just one profit loss, it's $20, $30. But all these things, profit are so many, but they actually don't end up to they end up to nothing. 0 point something dollars, not even a full dollar. I will never do that. That is the mistake that I tried to fight a long time ago, 2022, like 4 years, 3 years ago. what is happening. So let's see whether this market is going to move below this again, because you can see this how candle these are forming here. And but remember, our danger zone is here, so still we are going to be patient about that. Danger zone is located 70s. That is where you're going to be having this market being in dangerous. So when we reach to that point, things are going to change, but at the moment we are still holding to this and see how this is going to be reacting from that. Paul, good morning. Good morning. Let me see. Always. Okay. How are you doing? So I'm expecting this market actually not to keep going from that, because I'm expecting this to continue moving down. That is what I get from this market. So once we go to our area there, I know once the market touches our point, we'll be making good amount of money today in case this market comes to that. The position that I have here, for those you missed that, I call that one is actually a high risk one, and I normally take that on my own. So there is, I don't say that I give you that signal. That is on my side. I'm just waiting for this market to come that side. Just a small low size here that I used, and we're just waiting to see how the market is going to react from that point. And I'm waiting for the lower prices to go 45. So once we hit 45, or the area there that have indicated that the market might be breaking that. So once we break that, I know things are going to be good, and that is going to be so great. Okay, let me adjust things here. Things will be great. What is going to be happening? Yo, okay, that is going to be great one. Yep. Good morning, namesake. Are you done? Damo, good morning. How are you? I'm doing good on my side. What lot size are you using? Actually, I already told you that really lot size that not matter here. If I'm using I'm using 0.2, but don't use that because our account size is not the same. So if you are asking that, it means that you really need to work on the risk management. Our account is not the same, so you cannot use the same one that I'm using here. If you use that 0.2 and with your $200, then you're going to blow your account, or maybe $100 account, you're going to blow your account. Assume now you entered with me the same 0.2 using the like $120 here. Just look at that, the market is reacting here. You could have actually lost everything here. Okay, you could have actually lost everything here. And you can see there's a lot of activities that is actually happening at 72.73 here. That is where we're talking about this market here. A lot of orders being turned here, and this actually can be the sell limit sell limit that we have around this corner here, and that might actually be pushing these prices to that point, the ones that you see across that area. That's why you see this market being pulled on the upper side. Another one's 53 here. That is when we saw another activity of the market, just things happening around that corner here, and that is what we're waiting to see. So this is important as well. 73, as you see, this market is being pulled to this area that you see here, and it is around 72. The 72 mark that is actually here. A lot of volume, big volume, have been entered across this zone here. So we'll be more careful as long this market come to that area, because this can actually be the sell limit that will be entered across here. As the market is moving, let's check on USD chip. Let's check on the XY. What is happening with the DXY? I'm very curious to know what is happening with the DXY. So you can see one thing that is actually happening with the DXY is that it's actually reaching. Seems that DXY is reaching around that zone here, and yeah, just look at that. That means now there is high possibility that is actually going to break this, and that is what is making probably the gold prices to just move like that. We had a line here. Remember, for those who are here, we understand that this market is actually going to reverse from that point, this one that we drew across that area here, and you can see what the DXY is actually doing here, and we're waiting at least for these prices to either come to 99, and I said actually 99, but we are almost there. I think the prices were 98 point something. We were talking yesterday, I think we were talking about 98.8. that is the prices that we were talking about yesterday, 98.8. But today you can see at least the market is trying to just move up, and one of the levels that I'm waiting to see again from the DXY is actually to break this, and because you can see now it's actually very determined to just move up. So once we break this, it's actually even going to be helping now the dollar just to the gold to move to the way we are waiting for it to move. So on the DXY side, I'm waiting at least for it to come to this area here, and once we'll be hitting this one, let me again talk about 99 100, 99 100. So once we hit this zone again now, once we hit this zone again, I think that one will be that one now, that is the one that will actually be pushing the prices of the gold now to just move down. But you can see now we have a struggle here. That's why you see we are getting the same struggle for the gold prices. So now they are trying to make the move that we have there, and that is now what is making everything the problem here. And that's why you can see really we have some problem here. But remember, there's something I said, it's not all the time that you are going to analyze the prices of the dollar and then you say is actually going to match the prices of is not going to all the time to match the prices of gold. Like when it's going up, you expect it to move down. No, not all the time, but you know, most of the time is actually going to give you some clues. It's actually going to help you to give you some clues here. But you see how it's actually reacting here, and I'm expecting maybe today throughout the day, I'm expecting these prices to break this and move all the way to 99, either 100, and I think that is actually going to push the prices of that actually can push the prices of gold to the prices where we are expecting. So I'm expecting it, for the way you can see it is trying to move above this. I'm expecting the one to push and come all the way to 99, all the way to this point. That is my expectation for the DXY, and actually that is what might be happening today, because the point that you see here, we have been testing this region so many times across this area here, and now they can be waiting for a breakout. Even just by just looking at this, you see that it's now a time for reversal for the DXY, and that is one of the things that is actually going to push the prices of gold towards the downside. But when we are done with this, up to this step, that is now when the market actually can now start moving all the way down, and that is what we can be getting from this market. So this actually can actually influence on how the prices of gold can actually be moving. And you see this one, this the color candle that you see here is actually expected probably to close around 98, 900 or 99. So once you are there, then you actually know that indeed we must be moving there. So you see how it's actually rising, and the candle that you see here, that is one will actually be pushed all the way down to this, and now we'll be having an end cut at 345, another point that you'll be trying to break. But once we break that, we might be ending now to prices where we might be buying from this. And I'm right here to just observe the market until we have some entries. But remember the position that I have, I said this is the deal breaker that we have here, the 73, because once we hit there, this is something actually have changed, but I'm still holding these positions all the way to 26 and $25. That is what I'm going to be getting from this market. And once you are there, we'll now be planning to have a long one that is going to be creating probably even a new high, and we are going to divide those positions and see how the market is doing. Today we don't have a lot of we just have jobs opening in news. Tomorrow we have some news that we'll be expecting from the market, and this week until Friday you're going to be seeing some slowness of the market because of people will be expecting a lot of news be coming up. The market might be moving in a crazy way sometimes, but all the way we're just going to be holding, we are going to be trending, and also the new NFP news still will be there to trend it. Okay.